Hi, it's Mark Owen from Moose Marketing and PR, the editor of Punchline Magazine, and welcome to Punchline Talks, the big interview. Today I'm joined by Brusk Korkmaz. He's the CEO and founder of Hercules Site Services. Thanks ever so much for joining us today, Brusk.
Hi, Mark. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries at all. Who are Hercules Site Services and what do you guys do? Where are you based?
Yes, sure. Hercules Site Services is a profitable leading technology-enabled labor supply company, and we are operating in the UK infrastructure sector. We provide labor-related and diverse range of services to many blue-chip clients in the sector, and the companies that you might already recognize, Mark, they are Balfour Beatty, Kier, Costain, Galliford Try, and Skanska. We are also contracted to supply labor on to the northern section of the HS2 rail project, which runs from London to Birmingham. We believe that we are going to grow significantly over the next 4 years because of this contract also. I founded Hercules in 2008, having spotted a gap in the market for supplying good quality labor and skilled people, often at short notice. So started the business nearly 14 years ago from our family spare bedroom with borrowing around £10,000 from my parents. With lots of hard work and long hours and determination and teamwork, we have now over £32 million turnover and growing with over 500 people working with us. And as you are just aware, we have floated Hercules on the AIM market last Friday.
I mean, congratulations, by the way. I saw that fantastic photograph of you there with the bear, with your family. What did it mean for you? Was it a very difficult journey to get to that particular point to float?
Mark, it was a difficult journey. It took us over a year to get to that stage. There's a lot of due diligence involved, as well as making sure you are sort of professionally ready for that with the right team around you, and it takes a lot of hours of and people's dedication to get that over the line, and a lot of parties involved as well, including solicitors, auditors. From I'm talking about the accountancy side. You need to have a really good I think CFO, which we have got. Paul has been amazing, who is our CFO, and a team around us really. On that day, Mark, I think we had a quick chat in the morning, didn't we? I was so excited at the same time. I was so nervous, and the day went really well. It was an emotional day actually, because I had my parents with me and my children, as well as my wife, and 30 of colleagues from Hercules who made Hercules really. Some of our colleagues couldn't make it, obviously. Some of them had COVID. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, and it was a really great day. My children opened the LSE that day. And we were told by Tim Davis, who is the regional director for LSE, that first time I think in the LSE's history that 2 kids opened this. So it was really emotional for us, as well as a bit of we made a little bit of history.
No, very nice. It's such a brilliant photograph that you put on LinkedIn. Now the share price, I think you put it out at 50.5p or 50.50p. 50.5 pence. How does it stand at the moment?
So I think it is around the same at the moment. It is the third day of sort of us, on the market, trading on the market. So not very many people know about us, Mark, what we do, and what great potential of a pipeline of projects we have got, what the growth opportunities there are. So hopefully we will. People like you, this is a great show. So hopefully through these sort of channels, we will be able to let people know. Our end of year accounts will be published in April time, end of March time. Sorry, which we are quite positive about it. and yeah, we've got a good pipeline of works as well. So I think, yeah, we believe that we are going to do really well.
I think you are as well. I think you really are. I think with all those projects that you've got lining up. So let's just go back to that very beginning. So you started off in your parents' home, and how old were you then when you came up with the idea? Were you working in recruitment? How did you fall into that bit? Were you always an entrepreneur at school?
Yes, sorry. Yeah. When I started this 14 years ago, it wasn't my parents' house. It was my and my wife's sort of our house, and we have I did ask my parents to sort of lend me that £10,000 because of need a bit of a capital to start the business. I'm a civil engineer by trade, so I am. I've got over 20 years experience in civil engineering and construction. Prior to that, I studied at University College London and graduated in 2002. I worked for companies such as MJ Gleeson, Black & Veatch, and Hochtief Construction before starting Hercules. So when I started the business, it was in 2008, and there was a recession there, and I thought that this could be a really good opportunity for me to start, because I saw a gap of lack of companies supplying skilled people to the industry. And then I thought, why not have a go? And yes.
When you say have a go, what did you do? Did you build a website? Did you just pick up the phone and start? It's not as simple as that. So, how did you do it? Did you have somebody else working with you? Did you know of somebody who was looking for 20, 30 people and managed to place them?
Yeah, Mark, really good question. So I did not have a website then. No, I did not have a website for 2 years actually. And because that was money that I had to spend. So I did phone all of the contacts that I had and try to find out whether they had any potential projects available. And then slowly started. I think our first order was for 2 people. And you know what? One of the guys who started with us then he's our senior operation manager now. Right. So 14 years later, he is with me, a senior management level, a really great guy as well. And yeah. And then I didn't take salary for 2 years, Mark. We were living on my wife's salary, I just wanted to keep the money in the business in order to be able to invest and grow. But the first 2 years were hard, and then started getting a bit easier. So we started getting a bit more sort of work after the first 2 years, because it takes time, doesn't it, to get to for people to get to know us and for us to get to.
Sorry to stop you. What was the biggest lesson that you learned from those first 2 years?
I think hard work is hard work. So sometimes, Mark, we see that people sometimes show that there is an easy way of getting things or an easy way of making money, but I don't believe in that. I think you need to put so much hard work to it, and push yourself, physically as well as sort of mentally, in order to get to where you are. So that was, I would say, hard work. I thought that it was going to be easier than what it was in my own, but I think I underestimated, but I gave everything. So that was a good lesson for
me.
Mark.
What sort of hours were you working then? There was 12, 15-hour days. Obviously, you said your wife helped bankroll the company. What did your wife do?
Yeah, she was a flautist in Welsh National Opera, so she was a musician, and yeah, I was working 14 hours a day, and for 7 days for I think around 4 years, and then we started building up management around me to be able to sort of cope with more volume of work, so I can sort of concentrate on maybe running the company rather than sort of physically sort of chasing the contracts, chasing the people. Yeah.
So who was the sort of main person that you brought in I would assume that person that came along, or 2 or 3 people, fundamentally helped change the business.
Yeah, you're
Who
right.
were they? Sorry, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you know.
Yeah, sure. We have got, then we started having our, Paul is our construction director. He joined us to establish our civils project division, Paul Field. And we have got Howard Tingay, who was a commercial manager, came and joined us as well. And we had Boris as our senior operation manager then, and we had another a guy as well, started with us then as well. His name is Raj, also was our operation manager. So yeah, then we started sort of building the team up around us.
Okay, and so going for that stages, how did you get to the next level? Because, you know, one of the things about most companies, they get to around 10 people or get to that micro level, and it's taking it to that those next steps, you know. So suddenly you didn't wake up and it's like 56 people, 500 placements. What else did you, was it the way that you managed it, or get the, you know, I'm just trying to think, how did you do that little bit?
I think not saying no to the clients is important for us, Mark. And I remember there was a bit of a job that was quite tricky to be able to lay some high voltage cabling around one of the sewage treatment works. Very, very tricky work, but we wanted to take the job because we knew that we could do it. So to be able to manage that, we just got the job done, and when you're getting the job done as well, there are other opportunities open up for you. So when you are in there somewhere, you know, working with your clients, providing for your clients, there are other opportunities. So I believe that if you're in it, there is quite a lot that comes out of that, and during that process, I think sometimes you know, putting a step into the place is very, very important.
But it's also, surely it's got about recognizing those opportunities and having the balls, excuse my language, to go for it.
Yes,
I think a lot of people don't, you know, a bit like Richard Branson, you know, there was an opportunity. Now a lot of other people can't even see that. I think that's the difference between an entrepreneur, isn't it? You could recognize that part.
Yeah, I think it is important. You're right. There are opportunities, you know, everywhere. But again, finding them. But also, though, I think you make your own luck. You make your own opportunity as well, Mark. So when you are sort of, you know, giving your 100% on to something, and when you are working with your clients, they recognize that, and there are more opportunities come towards you. So you make your own luck, your own opportunity, I believe.
Okay, and so what was the other biggest project that you've actually done then?
So far, Mark?
Yes.
Yes, so we have done a project around 9-10 million pounds. That's over 1.5 years sort of time.
Okay. The other questions I was going to ask you, sorry, it's just slipped my mind.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I mean, it's amazing your kind of journey, really. So what would you say would be the biggest lesson that you've learned over the years?
Good question. I learned a lot of lessons, Mark. I was just thinking about which one I should start from, really. But for me, I think is the patience is so important. I'm not a very patient person, Mark, but I think having being patient is important. But at the same time, not sort of having a laid back attitude. I think being patient is important, and I'm still learning that as well.
Okay, what would you say was your biggest mistake?
Well, one of the mistakes that's potentially I have done was said no to one of the clients, and that sort of we could have taken to another level, and yeah, that was a bit of a mistake, and I think that there are always ways of making that happen. So yeah, that was I would suggest that was my mistake.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you a personal questions here now. That's okay. What's the sort of CD have you got in your car? What's the latest bit of music that you listen to?
Oh, actually, I do listen to any sort of music, but recently I have been listening to sort of Spotify, as you might, and a bit more sort of relaxing jazz sort of, table jazz sort of thing, yeah, or coffee jazz sort of. Yeah, at the moment, had a couple of really tough months, so I need to sort of. But I do listen to any type of music, man.
And what's the latest book you've read?
The latest book that I read was about. It was actually a Turkish book, and it was a Kite Runner. I don't know if there was a translation to it, but yeah.
Kite Runner.
Yeah.
The final question then is, I ask all my guests actually, what are your top 3 business tips, please, Brusk?
Really good question, Mark. I think finding how you can differentiate yourself from your competitors is really important. And we have sort of managed that through our innovative and technology-driven approach. We have developed our apps, which gave us an edge when you compare to our competitors, Mark. And this would be my sort of first sort of tip. And the second one would be, I think embracing, the change and looking ways to progress is really important. And again, I can give an example of we started our suction excavator division just over a year ago, and that was a new way of doing things. But suction excavation is the way forward, and we have got 95% utility out of and quite a profitable side of our business as well. And I think that the third point would be having a great team around you, around myself, and working towards the same goal is really important. And again, it shows that all the way 14 years ago, I established the company, and now we are now just floated on the AIM market and have got ambitious and bold plans. I couldn't have done that without our team at all. So we've got a really good team around us, and I'm very privileged to have a team that they are really good, amazing actually at what they do. Really important, I think.
Brusk Korkmaz, thank you ever so much for joining us today. Thanks for joining Punchline Talks. Really great to talk to you, and congratulations again on your float and stock exchange. Wish you all the very best here at Punchline Talks.
Thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate for having me. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.